Welcome back to the final segment of my Jeep Gladiator stereo install. This has been a complete redo of all of the stock speakers in my Jeep Gladiator. This can also be done if you have a Wrangler. So, use a little bit of both. Now on the last one, I had a little bit of trouble where I kind of messed up my 3D print and had to order some stuff. Wasn't that big of a deal, but it was pretty labor intensive. Now with this one, I'm trying to save myself some time installing these 6x9s by not taking the soundbar off of the top. This may be a problem. So in order to add 6x9s to the top soundbar, you have to do some cuts. Now I have this adapter bracket and grill cover, and I have the 6x9s, so my plan right now, hopefully this is okay, is I'm going to trace out the hole that needs to be cut it with a Dremel, install them, and be done with this. I hope it goes according to plan, but you know how things go. So let's jump right in. I really hope this isn't a bad idea by trying to do this in place. The one thing that is a big problem is that it makes a very large mess, but I'm gonna do it because I'm sick of taking panels off. With doing this whole build, you get teased by the front speakers where all you have to do is take the grills off, pop the speakers out, put new ones in, but then having to take the whole dash apart and putting new pods in, that was a lot to convert the 4.5s to 6.5s, and even if you put just the replacements in, it was still a lot of work. But let's do this, let's do it right. Let's put these 6x9s in. Got to start with this little Allen wrench. Seems pretty easy. Back with the little star key. I'm pulling these out. I don't need these screws, but I'm still gonna put them in a safe place. Let's put them in the cup holder. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Here's number one. So there's actually two cables on this, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal, because what we're gonna do is we're just going to use the one. We're just gonna tuck the smaller one, which is like the little 3.5 inch. We're gonna tuck that back up. We're not gonna use it. We're just gonna use the one from the 4.5 inch. But again, terrible. If that might not even be a 3.5. Maybe it is. Yeah, it says 15 watts. So it's the same as the front. We'll compare them here in just a second. But that was pretty easy. We do also need to take off the port, which is a completely different star key. Go figure. One of my Allen wrench will fit in here. If I can just force it, because it's not going back in, so I don't really care if it messes it up. Oh, yeah, no problem. Look at that. See? I hate when manufacturers of any type, especially auto, like they have everything the same. All Phillips head and sockets, and then they switch to star keys on one thing. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All right, so this is the port, and that pulls out. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Yeah, I bet you that does less than nothing. So that's gonna go in the garbaggio. All right, let's move over to the other side. Like, where are they ported to? Up in the top or nowhere? I don't think they're ported to anything. I think they're just ported up into the sound bar into itself. Whatever. All right, let's get these plates, these adapter plates, and start tracing and then cutting. I had a really pleasant surprise with opening the kit to do this, that not only did it come with the trace plates and the adapter plates and aftermarket speaker grills, It also came with some sound batting, so I didn't have to buy any of that or worry about it. And it came with adapters. Now I already bought adapters, but I'm not gonna complain. The adapter kit I bought had 2 sets, but I bought a single set for the fronts. I probably should have done this first. Whatever, it's fine. I was trying to do it like from front all the way to back, but this is still fine. This is really great they sent it. I'll figure it out if I need to send some stuff back and return some stuff. I could always take the front ones out, take those adapters out, send them back. I might do that. But wow, there are links in the description for this adapter kit. If you want to get it, it is on my affiliate marketing. Makes me a couple extra bucks, but this company didn't send it to me because I don't even remember the company's name. But pretty impressed with everything they've got. Let's start marking these. So I'm going to show you real quick what we're dealing with here. So these will go up here like, oh, not like that. That was the opposite side. There we go. So they'll go in here like this, and they'll fit nice and flush. And what I have to do is trace these out. So I'm gonna try to trace them. You're just gonna have to deal with watching me do that. From this angle, okay? This is definitely where it would have been better to take it all off, because I'm doing this like holding it up. But it's fine, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is awesome. All right, I think that's where I had to make my cuts. I'm using a gold Sharpie. Silver Sharpie would also be good. Let's move over to the other side. Okay, now it's time to start cutting. Let's get the Dremel. I have a couple different cutting discs for this, so I'm gonna try this one first. It's like a flat disc, and hope that this is the right one. If not, I can always switch, but we're gonna give this one a try first. So having a Dremel is really important for any kind of home improvement stuff, but especially car audio. You want a Dremel. Oh yeah, this is definitely the one. All right, see how far we got a cut left. Not too bad. Kind of peel this back a little bit. Looks like we got most of the cuts pretty good. And this is a great opportunity to say you should wear safety glasses. I'm not, because, well, I'm an idiot. So do as I say, not as I do. All right, I am gonna switch bits for this because I need a little bit longer one to get all the way up in the top, but this is working out really well so far. Happy with it. Now we're gonna try it with like the drill bit piece. This is really good for doing those hard to reach places. Hopefully this works the way I think it will. Oh yeah. Here we go with the final try. Oh, let me get this fancy headlamp off. All right, we're almost there. Got it! We got it! Woo! You love to see it, folks. You absolutely love to see it. So we're gonna have to pull out this one. This is the one we're not using, the smaller one. We're gonna tuck that up there. Now we're gonna go cut the other side. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, got most of it out. So let's again switch to the drill bit piece and finish cutting. I'm telling you though, I was really nervous about not taking the whole thing off to do this. I feel like if you take the whole piece off, you're wasting a lot of time. It's not as much of a mess as I expected either. So really, I think leaving it in place, marking it out really well, and having the right Dremel tools is the best way to go. I got it all done. So moral of the story is the wheel is better. It's just hard to get into those angles. The drill bit piece is really good to get into those high spots, but the problem with that is that it gets gummed up pretty bad and then falls out. So yeah, all of it, you can see all of that excess plastic because it melts as you're cutting it. But I think we're in good shape. Let's grab the speakers, get them fitted, see if we're ready to move on to the next step. Now let's check out what was in their stock versus what we are adding. This is what was stock. These are the same as the front speakers. This was the front lower, which is a 4.5, and this is the front upper in the dash that is a 3.5. These are tiny. This is what we're adding. This is a 6x9. This thing is massive. It is amazing. Let's make sure it's gonna fit up there. I don't see any problems. It looks like we cut out enough space. This is gonna be great. Let's get it installed. Now comes the fun part. I put the adapter on there, and now we're gonna mount the speaker to the bracket. Should be pretty easy task. Shouldn't be too crazy. Probably be a little bit better if I knew where my Phillips at. There we go. Make sure we're not torqued down too much. Oh, fun story. It's not a drill bit, it is a Phillips head. And of course, a different size than everything else in the Jeep. Not a big deal. Got my multi-tool. It's fine. It's all fine. I don't want to go too crazy on them because we want to make sure they all line up. I ended up switching to the aftermarket adapters that I got because the terminals fit easier. I didn't feel like doing a bunch of modification to them, especially when I already had them, and it wasn't worth sending them back, really. So these just pop on a little bit easier than the ones that came with the kit. There we go. So pop that up here. And it's in. Pretty simple. Still make sure that it'll fit right. Before we mount the speaker grill, we want to put this batting in here. Just gives it a little bit more absorption so you don't have all the rattling. Helps with the bass response. Just kind of nice. All right, there we go. Now it's time for the final speaker install. Can't talk anymore. I'm tired. Tired of doing this project. That looks really, really nice. Okay, let's take a look at this. Those look really good. Let's test them out. That already sounds amazing. There's actual bass. It rumbles. That's pretty amazing. So there you go, everybody. That's how you install a whole new system in a Jeep Gladiator or Wrangler. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. It's not an easy project, I will say that. Make sure you allow around 4 to 6 hours to do it. And if you're not handy, you might want to get somebody that is, or somebody that knows car audio. There's quite a few steps and quite a few things you have to do. Now, is it impossible for the average DIYer? No, not at all. I think just about anyone could figure this out with the right tutorials online, but it is not an easy install, but it is very fulfilling. So until next time, we'll see you later. Have a good one.